In the ancient years, in the land of Nehekhara, the mighty necromancer Nagash let loose a foul spell which would change the shape and face of this desert kingdom for a long time to come. His spell invaded the ancient tombs of the priest kings and awoke them within their sarcophagi, bringing them back to a land which was not the golden kingdom of the afterlife they had been promised. Instead, they were set side by side with their successors and predecessors, each of whom believed the lands to rightfully be theirs. As you would expect, a civilized debate in the form of open war took place, and, according to the opinions of the Grand Hierophant Katep, it would threaten to drive Nehekhara into ruin. And so, he turned to look for a priest king who could bring unity back to Nehekhara, to return it to its greatness. And he observed that Settra the Imperishable had not awoken. His ancient wards had been kept stable. They had obeyed Nagash's spell, and, as such, he still slept within his sarcophagi. And so the mortuary cult, under the direction of the Grand Hierophant, began to break the ancient warding seals on the Great Pyramid of Settra. And thus Nagash's spell invaded its sacred halls and awoke the mightiest of the priest kings of Nehekhara. When Settra awoke, he observed his city, Khemri, laid out on the sands before him, besieged by many priest kings. All of them wished to take the greatest city, the crown jewel of Nehekhara, for themselves, and such would not do. In his fury, Settra sent out his legions to battle with the priest kings and either force them into submission or undo them forever. Today, we're going to observe one of the earlier battles that Settra would have fought when he left his pyramid and embarked on the first stage of his conquest in the Age of Kings. Here we have today's table. We have the mighty pyramid of Settra placed over on the side here, with the causeway leading off to the city of Khemri laid before him. A mighty sphinx dominates a hill on the landscape, acting as impassable terrain, while we have some forests of sorts in these columns here and these columns here. So we've affected a nice little desert board representing the lands of Nehekhara before Settra's pyramid. Today I will be taking control of an upstart Tomb King placed over here. He is riding on a chariot with nothing particularly fancy with him, and he is in a unit of 5 skeleton chariots. We've then got a block of 20 skeleton spearmen flanked on either side by detachments of 10 archers. We have a necromancy mortuary priest set here and he will be the army's hierophant. Over here we have a elementism mortuary priest. Tomb swarms sit before the Ushapti great bows, and on the far flank there, ready to do an outriding maneuver, are some skeleton horsemen. This is more points than Settra has, so he's going to have to do an uphill battle, but to help him with that, we'll hand over to James to talk you through the deployment that's going on there.
So, charging down the centre causeway, we have Settra the Imperishable. To his left flank, we have 3 Tomb Guard chariots. Protecting the rear, we have a block of 20 Tomb Guard with hand weapon and shield. And protecting over to the right, we have 3 Ushabti with ritual blades.
Today's game is using a slightly different layout than we would expect. We've got a very elite Settra's army, which doesn't conform necessarily to the minimum core requirements. And unlike most royal host lists, it doesn't have to include a unit of skeleton chariots today. Simply because Settra has just awakened from his pyramid, he's taken the forces which are ready to go, and he's striking out against those who would attempt to usurp his rule over the city of Khemri. Up against him is a heavily core-focused army from a lesser Tomb King, so it's much, much more heavy in terms of the amount of core it's taking. I've done some spell rolling. James, and you'll be happy to know, our Hierophant, the necromancy priest, has taken Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades, and he's taken the Curse of Years spell, so we'll be trying to nerf down some of those skeleton stats so we can break combat a little bit faster. On the other side, we've got the Elemental High Priest. He's got Stormcall for some more debuffing hopes, and we've got Wind Blast, which should be a nice little thing to shove you around the place. Have you had any luck with Settra's spells?
So Settra will also be taking Djaf's Cursed Blades for a reroll 1 to hit. It will be an 18-inch aura because he is Settra the Great and has an 18-inch command range.
Lovely. Okay, so reroll 1s to wound, hit or wound, sorry.
Hit.
Reroll 1s to hit in a big 18-inch aura on your vastly more elite army.
Yes.
I'm sure this is going to look great for me. What we'll do now, Settra has the first turn in this setup, so we'll be going straight over to your command phase. We'll run through that, and then we'll have a chat through any charges to declare, because I think there might be a first turn charge or two, depending on how you do with...
My will be done.
My will, yeah. So we'll come back to you in just a moment with turn 1, Settra's command phase. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we've had a few little hiccups that we need to consider. As it turns out, I have mucked up the camera when I was operating it on the very first turn for Settra. And it's also occurred to me that we didn't actually run over what the actual rules for this particular mission are. And so, on the side of the screen here, you will see Settra Awakens. This is a historical recreation of the moment that Settra awakes within his Great Pyramid and steps out to fight the foes on the field of battle between his pyramid and the city of Khemri. The attacker and defender rules are listed there, but most importantly for us, on the right-hand side are the deployment, which we showed. The first turn, which will automatically go to Settra. The game length, which will last for 6 rounds, or until one side's general has been removed as a casualty. Then victory is determined as per normal. However, if Settra the Imperishable is slain, Settra's army cannot achieve more than a marginal defeat, meaning that both sides could end up being defeated. What we have to look at after this is Settra's turn 1. So in Settra's turn 1, he doesn't have an awful lot to do. What he's hoping for is to get a nice bit of movement from My Will Be Done, which he could put onto the chariots, allowing them to potentially attempt a first turn charge. In preparation for that, he goes ahead and tries to cast Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades. Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades is very useful for him because it's going to give him that extra reroll hit rolls of 1 in an 18-inch aura around him. He casts the spell, it is successful. He's outside of range of my wizards, however, so I throw my Fated Dispel at it and have no luck, unfortunately. And so Settra is able to take control of the command phase and moves on to attempt My Will Be Done. He succeeds on My Will Be Done. It's very difficult to fail with leadership of 10. However, he only rolls a 1 on the D3 that he needs for his bonus movement. As such, the chariots are unable to declare the charge that they want to declare into my chariots, and Settra decides better against running off alone into my skeleton warriors. Instead, the movement phase progresses and ends up looking a little something like this. Settra has moved up along the concourse, the skeleton chariots have moved up alongside him, the Tomb Guard have moved their 4 inches forwards, and the Ushabti has moved their 5 inches forwards. There's no shooting for Settra's army to resolve, and so James graciously hands over to me as we head into the Tomb King's turn 1. So we've got a pretty easy spread of things across the middle of the table here that means that we don't really have to worry too much. Stormcall's not got line of sight, Wind Blast is not to the shooting phase, Curse of Years we've not got line of sight, so we're going to throw down a Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades. We're a level 2 wizard, so we've got +1 to cast. We need a 7 total, so looking for 6 on the dice. That was that 6 there, and a 2, so that will be cast on a 9 total. So Settra needs to roll a 9 on the dice to block it. He does. Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blade is denied by the rightful king of Khemri. Right. This is then just going to bring us into the Tomb King trying to use his leadership to activate My Will Be Done. So that's going to succeed, I don't think, on the Tomb King's leadership too. So we'll take ourselves a nice happy bit of movement for the chariots, getting ourselves an extra 3 inches of movement. So that, I think, is going to allow me to try and fling a charge into the Tomb Guard chariots. So we will do some measuring and come back to you after that. Okay, so let's do the charge move on the chariots. The Tomb Guard have to hold because they're undead. So we're going to bring ourselves a lovely 5 onto their current movement of 11. And then Swift Stride comes in for another 3. 19 inches total. I think we're going to make a very nice handy wheel around here into the Tomb Guard. So probably the best way to do this is to come forwards to about there, wheel quite substantially by about that much probably, which will be, that looks to be about 6 inches. Went about 2 inches forward, so that'll be 8. That leaves us with 11 inches to massively overrun, slam into the Tomb Guard and align to them so that the horses all butt heads and refuse to stand in order. And there we have it. That's my charges. I don't fancy making the charge with the skeletons, so we'll come back to you after the movement phase is concluded. We've got some movement happening here. Very little, really. The skeletons shifted across to the side to allow our elementalist priest to come forwards, ready to wind blast. The skeleton horsemen over on the hill have advanced forwards. The swarms have moved forwards. This combat is obviously ongoing from the last time we were recording. And so we're going to jump into the shooting phase. We'll begin with these skeleton bowmen into Settra. 5s to hit, thanks to the nonsense Tomb King's rules. That is a really nice number of 5s. I think we got, what? We got 5 5s out of 10 dice. So we are going to be looking for 6s, however, to wound. Don't let me down. Blessed dice. Not a single 6. That's okay, they hit really well. We do have another unit of archers, though. So we're going to fire these archers also into Settra, looking to just pick up a wound or 2 so we can hopefully win through some combat res later. Man, I need to play with these dice more often. 5 hits again on 5 ups. You know, when you're doing an attack with, like, what, 20 dice, you want a third of them to hit, right? I mean, come on, we're looking at, what, 7 dice hitting, and we're getting 10. Chef's kiss. This one's got a load of 6s as well, so I'm feeling good about this. Show me some 6s! Nope, not a single 6. So, it's okay. We've got options. We're going to fire our Ushabti into the enemy Ushabti. Now, I don't believe... Oh no, these guys do have arrows of Asaph, so we're definitely...
Hitting on 4s.
How is it really hitting on 4s?
Yeah.
Ooh. You might discover that James is our resident Tomb Kings player. I play everything except Tomb Kings, it seems like, these days. So, let's find out. We're looking for 4s to hit. A single hit from the Ushabti. And with a tasty strength of 6 against a toughness 4, we're looking at a 2 to wound here. That will be a wound at AP -1. So you've got your heavy armour, so that'll be a 6-up save. A 4 is no luck.
6-up regen.
6-up regeneration. Oh! Beautiful, you cannot look for better. The 2 6-up regens for the multiple wounds 2 have been passed. Which means that we've only got one thing left in our shooting phase, which is for Wind Blast against Settra. We need to show 7 on the dice with our Elementalist Priest, and we have just failed that quite spectacularly. So, not a whole lot from our first shooting phase. We will do a reserve move on the horses and bring them around the other side of the hill, ready to outflank a little bit, and then we'll rejoin you to resolve this combat between the chariots and the Tomb Guard chariots. So we're moving over to this combat here. We've got our combat tracker out, which James really kindly 3D printed for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with, I've got D3 impact hits from the front 3 chariots into the skeleton chariots, or the Tomb Guard chariots rather. So that is a good number of impact hits. We've got 3 here, 2 here, and another 3 on the other end there. So nearly maxing out. These dice rolls, man, really good today. Skeleton chariots are strength 4. Are Tomb Guard chariots toughness 5?
T4.
They're also T4, so 4's to wound here. Let's see, we've got ourselves a nice and comfortable 4 wounding hits against the Tomb Guard chariots. So James, you've got a 4 up armor save, is it?
4 up armor save.
4 up armor saves, that's 1 wound is going to go through.
And 6 up regen.
Ooh.
1 wound.
No luck on this regen, but we've got 1 wound over here. Let's take 1 on our, that's not the right side. Take 1 on our brand new combat tracker. Now then, I don't believe I mentioned in deployment, our Tomb King has got a great weapon, so we are going to go to the skeleton chariots, for which we've got 1, 2, and 3 skeleton crew, one of whom is a champion. And these are attacks at with weapon skill 3.
It's 2 attacks, and then the champion gets a 3rd.
Yep, I think I've got that there. 2, 2, 2.
3, 5 attacks.
We've got his chariot as well.
All right, okay.
Because does he displace the crew or just add the crew?
I think he displaces the crew.
Let's take a pause and check on that.
Back in.
Good spot by James there. It seems that a character chariot for Tomb Kings does kick the crew out. You can't obviously have your king alongside the peasants. So we're going to be making some attacks here. I think we're looking at 4s to hit. That will be 2 hits, and thanks to our cavalry spears, these will be 4s to wound. 1 wound at AP minus 1. And it is saved. Love it. Okay. And then we'll be coming up to initiative step 4, which will be the 4 attacks from the Tomb King. And he will be looking for, I expect 2s to hit. He's weapon skill 6, so it will only be 3s. Okay, I wish we had our Dejaf's cursed incantation of cursed blades. But instead we've got 2 hits and a casual strength of 7, so 2s to wound here. That'll be 2 wounding hits, 1 allowing a 6 up armor save and 1 allowing no armor save. 6 up armor save, mate.
And 6 up regen.
No 6 up regen, so that's another wound taken.
And you have your 6 horses.
I've got 6 horses. Oh, lovely. I do like 6 horses. So we're going to do about 20 wounds with these 6 horses, right? That's how it works.
Yes.
I mean, maybe. 5s to wound with strength 3. 2 wounding hits. 4s to save. Very good. This is going to allow us to pass over to your attacks. Do you want me to take the phone?
So I get 7 attacks back with the Tomb Guard chariots, hitting on 4s.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That's as good as me, so, you know.
Curse blade, so I get a reroll.
Oh no, what rerolls? Oh no, okay.
Strength 5, so wounding on 3s.
Strength 5, wounding on 3s.
So that is 3 at AP minus 1.
3 at AP minus 1. So 4 up armor save, thanks to our recent FAQ. Means zilch. I think we've just lost a straight up chariot. Rest in peace. A whole chariot base. And we'll take ourselves forwards. 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
So 6 horses. Hitting on 4s. Rerolling.
Okay, no cursed blades on these horse hooves. That's good.
They are strength 3,
So
so only 5s.
5s to wound. 1 wounding hit, 4 up armor save. Quick thought that's just come into mind for the previous guy, 6 up regeneration saves. So we have made 2 of those regeneration saves. That leaves him alive on 1 wound. However, that's still 4 combat resolution. Have you got any more attacks to make?
That's me done.
In that case, we can see quite easily. Oh no, we can't see quite easily because I've got a rank. That's going to tick me up to 3. We've both got banners, though, I presume.
Yep, both got banners.
So it is still going to be Settra's side winning by a point. So that will be the final wound on that back chariot.
Indomitable 1, I believe.
Chariots of Indomitable 1, we'll check
The
that.
Tomb King should have that.
The Tomb King does, but that doesn't apply to his unit, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Does it? Ooh.
We'll check that.
If that's the case, I've been playing vampire counts wrong all edition. So James has just done some research. I personally don't think it states that the unit has the rule, but it does then go on to say that if 2 characters in the unit have the rule to use the highest one, so that kind of implies that maybe it does. So we avoid the wound, and that whole combat is going to shunty 2 inches towards us. Do you want to just shufty them all across? And that will bring us to the end of turn 1. Are you going to follow up, or are you going to...
I'm going to test a restrain.
He's going to test a restrain.
Yes. Leadership 10 from Settra.
Okay, that's useful, because I didn't think a 9 was going to pass otherwise. So, with that, I think we can head straight into the command phase for Settra's turn 2.
First of all, I'm going to cast Arise with Settra, so that's the leadership test. That does not go off.
Oh, could you show those numbers for us?
That's an 11.
11, that is no good for Settra. That's nice.
I will then do My Will Be Done, which does pass. And I'm going to do +1 weapon skill within 6 inches.
Okay, +1 weapon skill, looking to get the edge in the combats, which I presume are going to happen.
And then I'm going to cast Just Blades. No, which does not go off.
Excellent. Okay, so that's nice. We've got no rerolls, but we are going to have some close combat. Do you know your charges already?
Settra is going to charge down the centre into the Skeleton Warriors, and the Tomb Guard chariots are going to charge.
Up the centre. A tactical genius move from the Horus Heresy. Let's see how he does. 5, what's his move? 8?
7.
7 or 8? Okay, well, don't think it's going to matter, because
that's him in.
9, he just trundles straight along the highway and slams into those Skeleton Warriors. Excellent.
I'm not going to bother rolling that, because they have straight.
What? How do you know? I mean, it's like 2 inches away. They might fail it with their okay,
yeah,
no, I think they're in. Okay, so the charge is only just made there. It was really close. We had to take the dice roll, but Settra slammed in over here. We'll come back to you after the Tomb Guard and Ushabti have moved themselves to where they want to be. Rather expectedly, Tomb Guard moved up. The Ushabti moved up. We all thought that was going to happen. It was pretty obvious, right? We do have a nice little interesting moment over here with the horsemen bearing down on that those Ushabti. Clearly those Ushabti are quaking in their boots about the idea of a skeleton horseman flank, right? No? Okay. So what we're going to turn now to is the Settra combat, I think. So you got some impact hits, right?
Yeah, so Settra has 2d3 impact hits. I'm not going to re-roll that, so that is 5.
He gets to re-roll them?
Yep.
Oh, okay. 5 impact hits.
That's strength 5.
So 2s to wound the skeletons. That'll be 4 wounding hits. AP -2 means we're hoping for some regeneration saves. We do get 1, but otherwise that is 3 dead skeletons, delivering Settra a tasty combat resolution of 4. Okay. Is it on to Settra's attacks?
Yep, so he gets 5 attacks, hitting on 2s.
5 attacks hitting. I mean, that's it. He's done it.
Wounding on 2s. Oh, 2 failed.
2 failed.
So that's AP -3.
Okay, 6 up regenerations again. None this time. Another 3 skeletons have fallen down. Oh, it's nasty. 7 combat res in Settra's favour already is not what I really wanted to see at this time in the middle afternoon.
So 4 attacks from the horses with the +1 weapon skill. They'll be hitting on 3s.
Okay, but these will only be 4s to wound, right?
Wounding on 4s.
Yeah.
1 wound, no AP.
Okay, well, we at least get ourselves a 5 up armor save, which we make, so love it. Okay, we've lost 1 rank of guys and a dude, so effectively we've got the front rank and 4 dudes fighting back. So that will be 10 attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Weapon skill 2 into lots bigger. Oh, weapon skill 5s to hit. Okay, well, I mean, those are some good numbers. We've got some... Have I just 50%ed it on a 5 up again? No, I haven't. Good, good. If I had, that was going to get ridiculous. And then we're looking at 6s because strength 3 into toughness 5. Well, we have a 6, so let's see an armor save on Settra.
4+ armor save. Saved.
I'm a little disappointed the Chariot of the Gods only gets him a 4-up armor save. It
should be a 3+.
Chariot of the Gods. I mean, come on. Okay. That's all from me. Is it all from you?
Yep, that's everything from me.
Okay, do you have first charge on Settra?
No.
No, interesting. So I have a banner, a rank, and a close order, which means I will happily crumble for 4 skeleton warriors, and I will have to give ground 2 inches, which is going to be me moving to the back of the movement tray, so we'll just take the movement tray away. And is Settra going to follow up?
He'll follow up.
Settra's going to follow up, so we'll return to you guys with the Tomb Guard combat in just a second. Okay, Settra has moved up. Fortunately for James, he is still within 6 inches of the Tomb Guard, so they've been pushed up to weapon skill 4, which might give them a bit of an edge in this combat. You've got no impact hits, so we're straight into your halberds.
So this is weapon skill 4 on weapon skill 3, so 3 to hit. Nice.
Okay, we like it. Strength 5.
Strength 5, so wounding on 3s.
And it is a turn you've charged, so that'll be weapon
AP
pen.
-2.
AP 2, so 6s and 6s. 1 armor save. And 1 regeneration. So that's still 3 combat res over to Settra. And our injured chariot is dead. That's a pricey little thing to have to pay. Have you got anything else?
6 horses.
6 horses, let's clear these dice out of the way.
On 4s.
Hitting on 4s. Okay. 4 hits.
Strength 3, so 5 to wound. 1 wound, no AP.
A wound, no AP, 4-up armor save. Made on the 6. Okay, that's nice. We're going to have the 3 attacks from the skeleton champion, because his mate with the standard has died, and the guy behind, I guess, is working on crewing the standard chariot. So, let's see. That'll be a hit, and hit, if you will. And then we'll be jumping into 5 to wound, because I've not got the armor extra strength from the cavalry spears. That will be no wound. Oh, cavalry spears.
You get to fight in extra rank.
I've got the extra rank, so we get 2 attacks, because it's the...
2 attacks each, because they've got 2 crew.
Cool, yep, so 4 extra attacks coming in. That will be 3 hits, and then 5s to wound. No wounds, though. Okay, and then we'll have 4 little skeleton horse. This is coming in. We got 1 hit there. No wounds. And then we can go over happily to the Tomb King himself, who is weapon skill 6, so he'll be hitting on 3s. 2 hits, strength 7 for wounding on 2s. That'll be 2 wounds at -2, so 6-up armor saves, 6-up regeneration saves. No, regeneration.
No.
Nope.
We have a dead chariot.
That is... It's not going to be enough to break it, though, because we both got a banner. So we're just looking at a win by 1 to the Tomb Guard. I can't give ground because I'm trapped. So the combat will persist. Okay. Into my top of turn 2. We've got some options this turn. Some of them are quite open. Some of them are very heavily restricted. One of the clear things that we need to do is we need to get a bit more of a chance to actually hit Settra. So I'm going to throw out Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades with the Mortuary Priest. And we are going to get it on a total of 8. This is quite nice because Settra's in combat, so if you want to stop this, you're going to have to use that Fated Dispel.
We'll go for it.
We get it. Okay. So, Djaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades is up. We've got a nice bubble of 7 inches of reroll 1s to hit. Spells-wise, I don't have anything else, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with some Arise casting. We'll begin with this Mortuary Priest, leadership of 7. That is a fail. So we'll move over to our second Mortuary Priest, who succeeds with a 6. To resurrect, it will be D3 plus 2 skeletons. Okay, a massive 5 skeletons, the full rank. That's what we like to see. So let's throw these guys down here. We're going to treat these little columns as open terrain because this is meant to represent a roadway, and it would be odd for the road to disrupt a unit travelling down it. So we're just going to pretend that skeleton is sat nicely there where the obelisk is. After that, we're into the... oh no, we have a My Will Be Done to consider, which we will achieve, and I'm going to match you for the weapon skill. You know, nice. It makes sense to. So we've got a lovely weapon skill 4v4 over here. And then it's going to go into the charge phase. And now I've got a very sneaky move in mind. Are you ready for my sneaky move?
Go for it.
Can you guess my sneaky move?
They're going to charge the Ushabti.
I don't think they're in range to charge the Ushabti. I like your panache. 17 inches, way out.
Yeah.
We're going to throw these skeleton archers into the flank of Settra.
Okay.
We'll find out if it works. So, 8 inches. I don't think that's going to be enough. So we'll come back to you once we've measured out this charge of 8 inches. Okay, we were able to make it with an extra inch of wiggle room. So we've slammed the skeletons into the side of the chariot. And we've realised in the last combat, my skeletons had a, is it a press of battle or out over number? It's the new rule for the infantry units, which means I get +1 combat resolution for having the greater unit strength. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to drop a nice healthy extra skeleton right back into that rank there to account for 1 less crumble. I don't think it changes anything in the actual combat itself, so that's nice to see. Then into the movement phase, it's just going to be simple. These Ushabti are going to stay still to continue to shoot the other Ushabti. The swarms are going to continue to move to disrupt the encroaching Ushabti, and the skeleton horsemen are going to do their regular move and will throw their reserve move in straight away. So we'll come back to you in a moment. One other thing I thought about, this priest is moving up to this area here with all of with the move, open order turn, reserve move, open order turn. I love how mobile skeleton horsemen are. I wish they were a bit stronger. Maybe I should look into seeing if I can make like a list that skews them a tiny bit. But we managed to get them right up along the flank of these Ushabti, who, are they quaking in their boots now?
No.
Okay. Let's shoot them in the face then. So, 4s to hit, and hit. Strength 6 means a 2 to wound. Cool. Yeah, I think I understand why they're not afraid. Let's throw a wind blast into them as well, shall we? Nice bit of confirmation. There's no magic resistance, so we're looking for a 7 on the dice, and we once again fail it with a 3. Is that the second time in a row I failed it with a 3?
Yeah.
Yikes.
No miscast though.
I mean, I might have rather have miscast, because then I'd have like a 50+% chance of getting, maybe like 40% chance of getting a cast. So, you know, and I could have hit Settra with a strength 10 hit, you know, that could have been quite nice. So maybe I should be running wizards next to Settra and trying to explode their heads. Maybe not most thematic thing in the world, though. With that, we've got a couple of combats to be getting on with. I'm quite interested to see how this one with Settra goes. So I believe I've got 5 skeletons with the highest initiative going into his flank. They will be looking for 6s to hit. And they are outside of the 7-inch aura, so we don't get that reroll. But then we're looking at 6s to wound. Sorry, it wasn't 6s to hit, it was 5s to hit. Doesn't change anything. Skeleton archers have done nothing to Settra. At which point I expect we're probably into Settra's attacks.
So I'm going to put all my attacks into the bowman. So I have my 5 attacks.
Are you? Is that the wisest thing to do? My thoughts being, you can kill ranks off of here. There's only 1 rank over there, but they've not attacked you yet as well. And they do have 15 attacks, 16 if you don't kill them.
I think I can wipe the unit by this turn or next turn.
Okay, yeah.
That's my theory.
Cool, Settra into the skeleton.
Hitting on 2s.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Wounding on 2s.
3 6-up regeneration saves. Not a single one. Okay.
4 horses.
Are the horses getting the... Oh, yes, they've got the +1 weapon skill, haven't they?
Yep. 3 at no AP.
6 up regenerations. 2 more. Okay, so you've wiped the flanks unit. You've wiped the unit strength. The combat resolution rank from the flank. There we go, that's the word it is. My attacks then. I think we're just going for straight 16 attacks from the spears into Settra. I think Settra should be very afraid. I think 16 spears might be exactly what we need to take him out. So, are you ready? All right. We do have some ones. And these are going to be... We've got a lot of ones. We've got a lot of ones. We've got 6 ones. That's okay, because there's an incantation of Cursed Blades. Okay. One of those ones was translated to a hit, which means we've amassed a total of 4 hits against Settra, looking for 6 no wounds against Settra. That's not looking good for me, but the static combat res might save the day here. We are bringing a banner, a flank, 1, 2 ranks, an outnumber, and a close order, which I believe makes it 6 to Settra's 5.
Yes. Luckily, I'm Indomitable 3, so I don't lose any wounds there.
Ooh, Indomitable 3, that's tasty. Okay, but at least we know that Settra is dunking back about 2 inches this way and about 2 inches that way. I am going to try to do some restraints. I'm going to restrain with the Skeleton Spearman, which I expect 12 inches very happily keeps them back. Do I want to restrain with the Skeleton Archers? I think I do. And they will also restrain. So with that, we've managed to at least push Settra back, which is possibly going to be a bad shout now that I'm looking at things, but I'm not going to give away the game. So let's take a look at our Tomb King and the Tomb Guard over here. So initiative-wise, are we both initiative 2?
Yes.
In that case, I'll do my attacks first, and then you can throw stuff back at me, okay?
Yep.
So we've got 3 from the Master Charioteer, 2 from the Banner Bearer, and then 4 from the chaps in the back ranks. 4 against 4 is 4s. And we do have a Cursed Blade. It is very much a Cursed Blade. No strength bonuses, so 5s to wound. And that's bringing us a single wounding hit with no armor piercing. Oh, that's nice.
Made the
It is regenerated, but that's still a point to me. And then we'll go ahead and we'll throw 6 horses at you. And those horses will bring along 4 hits. And these will bring us a single wound. Is it a single wound? No, the strength toughness 4, so 2 wounds. 4s to save though.
Strength 3 on the horses.
Strength 3 on the horses against toughness 4, so 5s to wound.
Okay.
Yep.
Both saved.
Both saved, okay. And then we've got your attacks, just in case it kills my Tomb King. I don't think it will.
So I have 5 attacks, hitting on 4s.
Yep. You do have Cursed Blades?
No, I don't. I didn't go off.
Did it not go off?
No.
Oh no. Oh yes, it didn't, did it? Oh
And I
dear.
have 4 horses.
That is 2 hits.
5s. Nothing.
Okay. So with that, we then bring an extra pip of combat resolution in for my banner. Oh, I've not done my Tomb King yet. Let's throw a Tomb King. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. A Cursed Blade brings us a full suite of hits for once from the Tomb King. This might be the turning of the tide on this battle. Ooh, especially with that, that's going to be 2 wounds with no armor saves, and then 2 and 6s. So 2 armor saves on 6s. 1's made at least, and then 3 also on 6s for regeneration.
No, so that is a dead chariot.
you've lost your banner, and 1 wound is carried over to your champion. That throws another, what was it, 3 wounds on I did there?
Yes.
5-0. I think that's going to be... I imagine you're only Indomitable 1.
Yep.
So I expect that has just crumbled away to dust.
Yes, Indomitable 2, but yes, it's crumbled away.
Okay, so I'm going to try and throw a restrain on my chariots. That is a fail, so we will go ahead and overrun with them. 10 inches forwards. 10 inches forwards is very happily into those Tomb Guard, so wheel and ka-chunk. Okay. How are you feeling, James? We're getting to the end of the turn 2. Things are starting to swing a little bit. We've got 4 turns left. Do you think you've got a chance for it?
Maybe. Let's see what I can do with Settra this turn.
Sounds good. In that case, we'll come back to you once James is ready for his command phase.
So I'm going to start with My Will Be Done on Settra. And he is going to go for +1 weapon skill. And then going to cast Cursed Blades.
Okay.
Goes off on an 11.
Right, we're going to try and stop that. I don't think we're going to make it, but we'll give it a go. 9, 10. No, you do get it with the 11. Okay, a fully buffed Settra is getting ready to do some shenanigans. You got anything else to think about?
No, so Settra is going to declare a charge as far away this way to the skeleton archers as possible.
Okay. Anything else before we roll?
And the Ushabti are going to try and charge the horsemen.
Okay, let's see Settra's charge.
Yeah.
He's made it. Okay, repositioned himself. Ever so slightly staying out of combat with those skeleton spearmen. That could be an issue.
Then the Ushabti. So they're going to...
5, 10 inches total. 90-degree wheel is 1.5 times their width. They're about 5 inches wide.
Yep.
So that'll be 7.5 inches, and then that looks to be about 2.5 inches. So I think they're just in. I think they can actually maximize way more than that.
Okay.
But yeah, excellent. So with that, we could go on to the shooting phase, but I don't believe you do any of that.
No shooting.
So which combat would you like to begin with?
Let's start with Ushabti.
The Ushabti combat is going to be nice and tasty. We'll come back to you when we're ready for that.
So I'm starting with the Ushabti. They have a weapon skill of 4, so they'll be hitting on 3s. Rerolling
Lovely.
1s to hit.
Okay, do they get the reroll 1s to hit natively?
No, but that's from Settra's draft blades.
Because it's 18 inches of nonsense, isn't it? Okay. That's a nice number of attacks. No rerolls.
Strength 6.
Okay, that'll just be 2s to probably straight up kill, I imagine.
And that's AP 3.
AP 3. So we've got 6 saves to make there. On a 6-up. I mean, that's an okay number of 6s. That's 2 6s. That's 4 skeleton horsemen dead. Which is... I mean, I wouldn't say it was ideal. But it's an okay little starter. I will be coming back with a few attacks myself, I think. 1 attack each for the skeleton horseman. 1 extra for the champion. And we have a second rank with cavalry spears. So, 4s to hit. No cursed blades for me over here. So that will only be 3 hits. And these will be strength 3 into toughness 4, looking for 5s to wound. That'll be 3 wounding hits. Go on, take out in the Ushabti.
5-up armor save.
Okay, one of them lives. 6-up regenerations.
No, so one of them takes 2 wounds.
2 wounds. I do like to see it. I think, however, that's not going to be quite enough. I do have a banner to push me up to 3, but I don't have enough for a close order because I'm open order.
Got your horses as well.
I've got horses.
5 horses.
5 horses. I get to play with my horses. That will be 2 hitting horses. 5s to wound. No wounding hits. That's no luck for me. 3 to 4 means I'm going to crumble a horse. And everybody else is going to hop back to about there. Are the Shakti going to follow up?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll come back to you with that's all sorted. So it's all nice and happy over there. The horsemen drop back. The Shakti have followed up. I'm seeing a nice little rear charge, maybe, from these swarms. I don't think that's going to do anything, but we never know. We're going to turn our attention now to Settra and the battle with the skeleton archers. I think this is going to be close. I reckon my skeleton archers have this. I believe in my little bone boys. But Settra does get to go first. No impact hits.
No. So I'll be on weapon skill 8, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Okay, I mean,
Yep.
that's not a good start for me. Especially when it's, 2s to wound?
2s to wound. 5.
5 wounds, 6 up regen for them. We do keep 1 alive, but that will be 5 logged in Settra's favour. If James doesn't mind doing the dial for me. Then I guess we're going to go over to Settra's 4 skeletal steeds, doing an attack each.
Hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s.
Re-rolling 1s.
Re-rolling 1s. That's 4 hits, 4s to wound.
3.
3, 6 up regens. No, none of those. Okay, we'll clear another 3 guys out. And I will say, James, that's not 4 to you, it's 8 to you, because I had a regen.
Okay.
So 8 in Settra's favour. I've got 3 skeleton archers ready to hit Settra back. And we do make a hit on a 5. A 6 to wound is going to be no luck. So that's going to be 8 crumbling skeletons. I can't do anything about that. That is a unit completely wiped. Is Settra going to follow through?
Yes.
He's going to click into those lovely spearmen there. Okay. I think we're just going to have another show of what happened before. I'm going to throw some archers into the side. It's going to be lovely. But we will come back to you in a slightly better position for filming this Wayward Tomb King expedition over there. Okay, so we've got the Tomb King and his chariots crashing into the Tomb Guard. We're going to see 3d3 impact hits. Not as good as the last set we did. Only 4 hits. However, strength and toughness 4 means 4s to wound. 2 wounding hits with no AP. The Sword and Board Tomb Guard are therefore on a 4 up armor save. They make both of them. Can't beat these Tomb Guard. So let's throw 5 attacks from the skeleton charioteers. They're going to be hitting on... do I have a My Will Be Done?
Yes, you do.
I do have a My Will Be Done. So we're going to be hitting on 4s, weapon skill 3 against... No, weapon skill 3 against 4 on 3.
Hits.
So 3s to hit, that's all hit. We love to see it. Okay. And
+1 strength.
4s to wound, because of strength 4 and toughness 4. That is going to be 2 wounding hits at AP -1. Okay, a save, regeneration. I don't think dice off the table count. Oh, it regenerates. Oh well, that is still 1 in my favour. And then we can take a look at the 6 skeleton horsemen. Not the horsemen, the actual horses themselves. We're looking at 4s to hit here, 3 on 3. So 2 misses. And then sadly, 5s to wound. And that is 1 wounding hit. No AP, so a 4 up armor save. It is made. This might be the breaking point for my chariots. We'll tell you what. Tomb King does get his initiative 4 with his great weapon. So we'll see if we can do some hits there. Only a single hit. 2 to wound. No, no. Right. Well, that leaves the full 2 ranks of Tomb Guard to strike back. They are only hand weapons, but they do have the Kopesh Spectral rule for AP -1. So, shall we go ahead and work out how you're dividing your attacks?
I'm going to put this one's the champion.
This one here, he'll be the banner bearer.
Okay, I will put... Actually, to keep it simple, I'll put all the attacks into the unit.
Okay.
So that is 13 attacks, it says.
Is it 30? You got 6 by 2 plus 1. Yep, 13 attacks.
Hitting on 4s.
Good luck. No rerolls because there's no 1s. So Settra is sitting this one out ever so slightly. I'm toughness 4, I think, and you're strength 4, so it'll be force to wound. Okay, 5 wounds. AP minus 1, so I'm looking for 5s to save. I save 1 of them, and then we're looking at 6s to regenerate. No regeneration, so that's 4 wounds done over here. It will peel a chariot off the back, and we'll have to get a wound marker for that one there, putting him at 2 wounds remaining. And then we can look at combat resolution. I do have a banner. You have a banner, and a close order, and 2 ranks, and an outnumber. That's going to turn the tide a bit for me. That's a difference of 7. I've got Indomitable 2 with the Tomb King. So that's 5 wounds taken. So that's 2 from here, kills him, and then removes the chariot banner in the middle, which will throw, I guess, my Tomb King and Master Charioteer out to about there. Are the Tomb Guard going to follow up?
Yes, we will.
I think they will. You know what? This might be what is going to push it towards a game in Settra's favour. I was starting to feel I might have had it in the bag. And then I've woofed it there. And that's the best I could really fight, isn't it? I mean, let's see what else is going on the table. We've got the Ushabti over there. I'm not too concerned. I mean, they're going to kill the Skeleton Horsemen. As much as I joke around, the Ushabti should be quaking in their boots. They're killing the Skeleton Horsemen. We might be able to do something with the Swarms. I don't think so. Settra over here, I think he's been largely nullified. We're going to do some healing on the Skeleton Warriors. We're going to do some healing on the Skeleton Archers. We're going to tie things up there. The Ushabti don't have targets anymore, so they're just going to have to start moving to places. And as soon as our Tomb King over here dies, it's game over. But I think that's the end of round... is that the end of round 3? It's your round 3.
Yes.
So it's my round 3 now, and we'll come back to you with some spell casting. So I'm going to try and resurrect up some Skeleton Archers. We're going to do a quick arise here. We are going to make it for D3 plus 2. Only getting the 3 archers, but you know what? That might be fine. There we go. And then we'll try and do a similar arise over here onto our Skeleton Warriors. Absolutely not. So now I do need to be careful because this is my Hierophant, and Settra is gunning for him, I get the impression. So we're going to cast just cursed incantation of Cursed Blades. We'll get it on a 11 total. You want to try and fluke a double 6?
Let's go for it.
For you. Oh, you gave it a really solid go. So, in that case, we've got the Cursed Incantation of Blades. He does not want to stay here. So we're going to move 4 inches around over to there so that we can avoid being hit by anything in that regard. I shouldn't get ahead of myself, though, because I do have a charge to declare over here with these swarms into the back of those Ushabti. So, movement of 5 plus 4 is 9 inches. That's a very happy tag over there. And... oh, he might not make it. 9 inches. Oh yeah, he's front corner of his base. If he moved first, he'll be over there just fine. Okay. With that, my Ushabti don't really have much to do, so I'm just going to get them into a position where they might do something a little bit later on. We're going to go there, wheel an inch. And with that, I think we can jump into the shooting phase, because there is really not very much shooting to do. Is there a reason I've not said anything about my skeleton archers? I think they need to be in Settra's combat, don't they? Are you happy for me to go back?
Yeah, go back and charge them in.
There we are. Let's get these guys in there, and they're in. So we'll move those up in a second because they're not on a movement tray. Well, we could fight the other combats first and try and score some points. I expect my Tomb King is about to die. If he dies, the game ends, as per the rules. I think I've got a bit of a lead, having killed the Tomb Guard chariots, while the only unit that's really fallen from my side is 10 skeleton archers. So I think I'm going to try and press a victory by defeat of my Tomb King, and we'll fight this combat first. So initiative-wise, it's a stalemate. We're both initiative 2. So I'm going to throw out my 3 attacks from the skeleton chariot here. And that's going to be 3 successful hits. Is it? No, it's not. It's going to be... yes, it's going to be 3 successful hits.
Sorry, quick pause there.
Then strength 3 into toughness 4 is 5s to wound. That is 1 wounding hit. 5 will save it. Okay. 4 skeleton steeds. Only scoring the single hit. The cursed incantation is probably too far out over there. 4 no wounds there. And that leaves all of your Tomb Guard to strike into the unit. Shall we do some slow rolling on these? Because it might matter for the Tomb King.
Yeah, I will go with...
Let's do 4, I think. 4 is safe.
I will do the 6 attacks from here into the...
Oh, you're going to split them 6 and 6?
Yeah, 6 and 6.
Okay, let's do that.
7 and 6. I'll put the unit champion into this.
Okay.
So hitting on 4s.
Okay, you got 2 misses. 4s to wound. Okay, 2 wounding hits. It's technically all you need. I've got 5s to save. I save them both. Excellent. The Master Charioteer lives. And then you got the other guys into the Tomb King. 4s to hit there. Okay, 3 hits.
Cursed Blades from Settra.
Oh, okay. No, his blade is in fact cursed. It won't hit.
5s to wound, isn't it?
No, you're strength 4, so it'll be 4s to wound. Oh, but this is the Tomb King, isn't it?
Yes, I think they're T5.
Yes, I expect they would be T5. I mean, they're T5 off on foot. I can't imagine the chariot makes them less tough.
Yeah.
So 2 wounding hits, 5s to save. And is it 5s to regen on a Tomb King? I expect it would be, because it is for a vampire, but 4s don't really matter. That's going to whack him down at... He's 4 wounds standard, plus a couple for a chariot. So 3 wounds, plus 3 for a chariot, so that'll be 7 wounds, 2 left, 5 wounds remaining. But that's 2 wounds that have been done to the Tomb King. And I will go ahead and throw out his 4 attacks. Maybe we'll win this time. I mean, that's a little bit better. I like to see that. 2s to wound. Okay, there we go. 4 wounding hits. 1 of them is at AP 3, so you've got 6 up armor saves. Okay, and then you've got 3 6-up regeneration saves. Because you got this one as well.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
3 dead.
3 Tomb Guard have... Is it Tomb Guard? Yes, Tomb Guard have been peeled by those attacks there. Which, at a glance, puts it in my favour. But when we include the close order, outnumber, banner, you still have 2 ranks. That is a 7 to a 3. A victory of 4 to your side.
Yep.
Knock 2 off. That's going to crumble my chariot away. And it is now just the Tomb King facing off against the Tomb Guard. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Not quite ideal. I was hoping you'd kill everything. I might have underestimated or overestimated how few wounds the Tomb King had on that chariot. We'll go ahead and take a look at Settra's combat now, I think. So, through your kindness, I have got 5 attacks into his flank from some skeleton archers. We're going to be looking at certainly not 4s to hit, so it will be that's 5.
5s to hit.
And a 6 to wound.
Did you get the reroll from Jaff's Blades?
I don't think there were any 1s there. But if there were, then throw a comment in the down below, and I'll lament the fact that it probably doesn't do anything. Have I rolled that as a wound?
Yes.
So that's no wound then. Okay. Then we've got Settra's attacks, I expect. I imagine he's better than Initiative 2.
Yes, I'll be putting all my attacks into the bowman.
Again, okay. He's gunning for bowman, etc. Okay, yep, that's that. Yep, okay.
6s. Oh.
I don't think you need 6s,
No,
mate.
2, sorry.
I think Settra will wound naked skeletons on better than 6s. I need 6s to live, which I make 2 of. So that's 2 dead skeletons, and is going to, let's ratchet Settra on the red. So that'll be 4 for Settra.
Then he has 4 horses hitting on 3s.
4 horses hitting on 3s. That's going to be 3 hits. 4s to wound. Not a wound. Okay. And now we're going to bring our 16 attacks from these skeleton spearmen into Settra. Are you afraid?
No.
Why aren't you afraid?
5s to hit, 6s to wound. I think I got this.
Okay. It's 5 to hit with re-rolling 1s. Ha ha! Whole single 1. And it's a hit. You know, you don't get good results like that every day. There you go. 4 hits from 16. Yeah, that's about what you expect. 6s to wound. Okay, cool. So I am bringing, luckily, a flank, an outnumber, a banner, and 2 ranks. I'll win combat by 1. Again.
So I shift.
He'll shift 2 inches sideways and 2 inches backwards. And I'm going to follow up with the archers, because otherwise my Hierophant is all exposed. And I'm pretty sure if my Hierophant goes, that's definitely the game for me. And we'll try to restrain with those skeleton warriors, and we will succeed on their native leadership, let alone. Okay? Now, we're going to have to look up some stats for all this stuff over here, so we'll be back to you in a few moments. We've got 15 attacks here with poison, heading into the Ushapti. We're going to do red for Settra's Legion, green for my guys this time. We are looking for 4s to hit. We're out of range of any reroll issues, so we can just bin all those dice there. And then...
You have 2 6s.
I have 2 6s there. That's poison. So 2 poisons. We are going to be looking at +2 to wound. Strength 2 means it would be 6s going to 4, so 4s to wound. Fat lot of good that was. 6s. No wounds from the tomb swarms. Fortunately, I've then got 6 attacks from the skeleton horsemen. And these are at the same profile as their horses. So we'll do them all at once. 11 attacks. Hitting on 4s. Again, too far away. That was a 1 for any rerolls. And what's that? 6. Looking for 5s in this case. That will be 3, however. No AP.
Heavy armor, 5 up save.
Not a 1. 6 up regenerations. Oh, okay. So we've got 1 wound.
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead. That was wounds taken, was it? Excellent. Yep. So 1 guy has died. And we'll log 3 success. I mean, I told you, you should be quaking in your boots from those terrifying skeleton horsemen. What's your thoughts here?
I'm going to put all my attacks into the horsemen.
Oh,
so
okay.
Hitting on 3s.
All bar 1. Okay. And then it's just going to be straight regens on 2s, right?
Yeah.
4 straight regens, of which 2 have been made, but that's still 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll peel a guy from either side. Okay. That's all of the attacks. You've won the combat by 1, except for the fact I have a banner and I have a rear. So I'm afraid
I'm Indomitable 1.
you're Indomitable 1, so you do take an wound. There we are. Put this chap on 2 wounds remaining. And we're trapped, so there's nowhere we're going to be running around the place. And this is setting us up nicely for the top of Settra the Imperishable's turn 4. Any comments on what's happening?
No, I was expecting those Ushabti to potentially lift all 5 horsemen. But
Yeah, I think so too. I'm happy with how the horsemen have done that. I mean, I've known since the beginning that it was going to go this way. I think it's really close. I think it's a ticking time bomb. That Tomb King is going to die soon. I've got to do as much damage as possible before that happens. And likewise, I think you've got to do as much damage as possible.
So I'm going to start with Settra's. Mine will be done.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for +1 weapon skill.
Continuing the big weapon skill train with Settra. Excellent.
I'm then going to start with try and cast Just Blades.
Okay.
That does not go off.
That's good. Okay, we can keep the blades out.
And then I'm going to do Settra's Arise because you can cast that while in combat.
Or we can try to use it, I suppose. Yep.
This unit here. That goes.
That is a successful leadership check. I can't do anything to stop that. So D3 plus 2. Sorry, D3 plus 1. That is 2 plus 1. So that's all of those Tomb Guard back. Don't you love playing against undead armies? The joys of an undead army. Okay. With that, we're into the fight phase, really. Where would you like to begin? Are you just going to crumble my Tomb King, or are you going to try and do some...
I'm going to...
I think you need to score points, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the Ushabti, but I believe because they've got strikes last, it will you go first.
Okay, excellent. Well, in that case, we will grab 5 dice out of there, because that's what I don't have with the Tomb Swarms. With me going last, I'll just throw all the Tomb Swarms at once. One of them is not in base contact, however, so get rid of 4 more dice. 11 attacks with the Tomb Swarms, hoping for 6s, looking for 5s. No, looking for 4s, isn't it? So let's see what we've got there. We've got 3 6s and 2 hits. So 4s to wound thanks to poison. That is 2 wounding hits thanks to poison. And then 6s to wound from those ones. That is another wounding hit. So 3 wounding hits total. The heavy armor comes in safe once. 6s to regenerate. No. So that will be 2 to me. I'm going to take red. And you're currently sitting at 0. Then Skeleton Horseman. I've got 4 attacks from the riders. 3 attacks from the horses. This is going to be 4s to hit. So that leaves us with 3 there. And then let's go nice and tasty. Come on now. Show us some nice happy 5s. That is 1 5. So a 5 up.
Safe.
Hey, makes it. Okay. Well,
I have 4 attacks going into the horseman, hitting on 3s.
4 attacks into the horseman, hitting on 3s. We've got 2 hits. You might be within 18 of Settra's.
That did not go off this turn.
Oh, I'm happy.
2s.
This happened literal seconds ago and I don't remember.
AP3 on those.
AP3 on the... AP3?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Ritual Blades.
6s to regenerate. Nothing there. That'll be 2 dead horsemen. And, no, it's the champion who stays behind. Okay. That's going to go into my favour, isn't it? Because I've got a rear for 2. So that puts me winning by 2.
Yep.
Indomitable 1. So you take a wound. Oh. Numbers just are causing Settra problems. Let's count down, yeah. Okay. So 2 wounds remaining over there. Which combat to now? I suppose it's got to be Settra.
Settra, yes. So I will do...
He's definitely going to be fighting first, I think. So let's clear some dice out of the way. And we've got a nice little space to roll just there.
So hitting on 2s.
Okay, that's 1 miss. That's 4 hits.
2s to wound.
4 wounding hits. 4 regeneration saves. We get 1 of them, so that's 4 points to Settra. But we've lost 2 there and 1 there. Okay.
4 horses hitting on 3s.
4 horses hitting on 3s. All of them have hit.
3 and no AP.
Okay. We're relying on those 6-up regeneration saves. There's none. He's cleared the skeleton archers, which means he's going to overrun and try and get that Hierophant. 10 inches. Right. We need to know the initiative on the Hierophant, and I expect he's initiative 3. But we'll find that out because I need to do an initiative check to see if he can run out of the way of Settra overrunning into him.
This that you can move up.
Okay, he's initiative 2, so I need a 1 or a 2 on this here dice. And if I get it, I'm basically not necessarily going to lose. And if I don't get it, I'm basically guaranteed to lose. So, 1 or a 2.
Did it?
We did it! So he's just going to take his regular move of 4 inches out to the side here, allowing Settra to come 10 inches in a straight line down there, where he will reach the end. And now he does get the chance to reform, if he makes the leadership check. Though I don't think he's going to be able to unless he wants to do a 180 because of my skeleton spearman there. So we'll come back to you with where Settra ends up. Or is that where Settra's ending up?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Go like that. And then just, we'll wiggle an inch so that there's no contact there. Right. Let's see if the game ends. So, initiative-wise, you're initiative not 1. I'm initiative 1, but I do have some horses. So I'll just kick 2 horses into a tomb guard. That is a horse hitting a tomb guard. And that is a horse not wounding a tomb guard. So,
I have my 13 attacks.
13 attacks. A very scathing number.
Hitting on
Your weapon skill...
3. 6, aren't you? So is that 5s?
Yeah, it's going to be... No, it's going to be 4s.
4s.
Okay, that is a worrying number of 6s. Actually, you know what? With my whole skeleton chariot and a Tomb King dying, you're probably taking the win.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking about it. Okay, let's see what you get.
5s to wound.
I like that. This sparks joy.
2 wounds at -1.
2 wounds at -1. That does not spark joy. That sparks a little bit more joy. So I've lost a wound. And let's see the combat res. I've got to do my attacks into you first. So 4 attacks with the Tomb King, hitting on 3s. That's nice. Wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds at AP -2. So 6s to save. 6s to regenerate.
No.
Okay, so I've done 2 wounds. You've done 2 wounds. You have a banner, 2 ranks, a close order, and an outnumber for 5. I deduct 2 of them from Indomitable. I take 3 wounds, therefore, popping us onto a 1 wound of Tomb King, and I'm dropping back 2 inches. Are you going to follow up?
Yes.
Oh dear, the end is nigh, ladies and gentlemen. The end is nigh. In my turn, I do have one option. There is an Arise, which I could try and do there. So we're going to gun for that, I think. 2d6, looking for less than a 7. That is less than a 7. Heavy Chariot is just wizard level +1.
It's light chariot.
Is he a light chariot?
Yeah, the light
okay,
chariots.
do the light chariots heal any differently? We'll come back to that in a second, because I will probably have a second Arise, but that's not going to be in range of him. So I do know the stats for an Arise on Skeleton Spearman. That is a success. We will restore D3 plus 1. That's 3. D3 plus 2, rather. He's wizard level 2. So that will be 4 skeleton spearmen, returning my unit back to full unit strength. I think we're going to have an opportunity to do
That's
something.
recovering 2 wounds. Oh, if the unit's type is light cavalry, heavy cavalry, or war beast, monstrous infantry. Oh. So yeah, it's +1.
It's +1. So wizard level +1, that's going to be 2 plus 1 is
so
3.
just wizard level.
Just wizard level. Okay, so 2 extra wounds. That brings them up to 3 wounds on the Tomb King there. We do have an opportunity to do some dispels. So we will try to cast the Curse of Years onto Settra from our good friend over here. We're going to need a 9 to cast it. Only +1. It's not likely. But, you know, if you roll a 12 total, let's see if Settra can stop it with an actual 12. No, he only gets an 11. So, Settra has lost a movement, a weapon skill, and most importantly, perhaps, a toughness. So, what do I want to do with my turn? I think our priest here needs to come around so that you can see Settra for a wind blast. Our Ushabti definitely need to redeploy a bit to see Settra to shoot him. With him being -1 toughness, it just seems like the right opportunity. Maybe I can snipe this would-be ruler of the realms. I'm sorry. They're stuffed. I shouldn't put my hand in front of the camera. It wants to focus on me. I can't blame it. Have you seen my fingers? Look at them. Oh, amazing. I wouldn't focus on that if I was me. So, I think this is quite simple. No charges to declare. We're going to have a movement from the priest. We're going to have a movement from the skeletons to make vision for the Ushabti. We're going to have a movement from the Ushabti, at which point we'll come back to you. James has kindly reminded me that my will be done on the Tomb King is not a bad idea. So we're going to throw that down and we're going to pass it. So I'm going to give him an extra weapon skill, making him weapon skill 7, which means I will be able to, if Settra fails his my will be done on the turn, next turn, hit on 2s. Then we're going to come over to here with the Wind Blast from our Elemental Wizard. We need to show a 7 on the dice. That's not going to cut it. And then we're going to launch 4 arrows into Settra. It's not enough to kill him, but maybe we can make him panic. So 4s. And by panic, I mean just make James upset. Obviously, Settra doesn't panic. And especially he doesn't panic when I can only make a single hit with 3 dudes hitting on 4s a turn. That is a wound, however, and I'm pretty sure there's a good chunk of AP.
Yeah, that's Armor Bane
there.
2, so that's AP 3. So it is his 5-up ward.
That is a
2.
2, okay.
So he then gets his 5-up regen.
Okay, Settra has taken his first wound, putting him with 7 remaining. At this point, I'm going to take the opportunity over here for this combat with the Ushabti. You were saying to me you have an idea.
I'm going to issue a challenge.
Coward. So, 2 attacks from the skeleton champion, plus his horse is going to be a single hit. There's going to be no wounds.
Right. 4 attacks.
Go on then, fail it. You know you want to.
Hitting on 3s. That's 2 at AP 3.
2 at AP 3. That's just dead. And an overkill. So your 2 wounds is going to be cancelled by my rear rather. So it's going to be a tied combat. Thanks to your cheeky, dirty challenge tactics. And then we've only got 1 more combat to fight, and it's over here. I'm going to throw 2 skeleton horsemen. Skeleton horsemen are bringing... we've got +1 weapon skill, so that'll be 1 hit only from the horses. No wounds. Now, you've got a good number of tomb guards, so I'll come over and take hold of the camera so that you can throw fistfuls of dice. Now, because I'm weapon skill 7, you are hitting me on 5s. Okay, let's take a look. Setting aside 5 successful hits. Okay. 5's to wound now. Probably only need 1 of these to go through.
1 at AP -1 with Kopesh.
1 at AP -1, thanks to the Kopesh. Right then. 5 to armor save. And a 5 to regenerate. No. 2 wounds remaining on our dear little friend here. But he does have a few attacks back to for us to enjoy. So, hitting on 2s this time. I love it. 2s to wound. I'm hoping for 6s though. No 6s, so you will have 4 6-up armor saves and 6-up regenerations. 3. Oh no, you saved on 6s, didn't you? So
3 dead.
3 dead.
It does take the rank off me.
That's useful. So we're going to need to get the dial out now. So I've done 3 wounds to you. You've done 1 wound to me. Did I regenerate 1? I think I did.
No, you didn't regen.
You sure?
Yeah, I failed all my regens, so I passed 1 armor save.
No. Did I take any regens?
No.
No. Cool. So then you've got the banner, the outnumber, 1 rank, and a close order. That is enough that my Indomitable eats it, and we are going to just have me drop back 2 inches. Are you going to follow up? I don't see a reason why you wouldn't, to be perfectly fair with you. Okay, the battle goes another turn into Tomb King's 5. Or Settra Turn 5.
So with Settra, I'm going to start by doing the My Will Be Done. And I'm going to go for D3 movement. So +3 movement.
+3 movement, okay. Nice.
Then going to do a rise on myself.
Does that push him to 10 movement?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a pass on an 8.
Okay, so he's healed himself back to full. That's very annoying. Is he going to get the incantation of Cursed Blades?
That's an 11.
Probably with the 11. Let's see, I need an 11 on the dice. I've done it before. Let's see if I can do it again. Oh, what is it with us coming so close to the dispels? No cigar, however. So Settra is full health again. He's got an extra D3 movement for 3 movement extra. Put him at movement 11? 10.
10.
Movement 10. And
He's got reroll 1s to hit in an 18-inch aura.
nice. Okay, well, in that case, do you have any charges? I don't think Settra can see anything.
No.
So what's Settra going to do in his movement phase?
Essentially, he's going to move forwards and then use his lumbering to turn about.
So it'd be his lumbering, or would you just do a turn maneuver there with his?
Yeah,
so 5 inches forwards and then turn around?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So, yeah, Settra moves forwards, wheels a bit, turns around. And, I don't think my Hierophant can hide now. So, okay. Where do you want to begin with combats?
We will start with the Ushabti.
The Ushabti. Now, the Ushabti have fight last.
Yes.
I have 2 guys in base contact with him.
Yep.
So that'll be 10 and 11 attacks, hitting on 5s, hoping for 6. Hitting on 4s, hoping for 6s. There's 2 6s there, and an awful lot of not hits. 4s to wound, 2 wounding hits, and then 6s to wound. And that one there was not in the pile before, so we got 3 wounding hits, 5 up armor save, 6 up regeneration. Oh dear. 2 wounds, that's all we needed. The Ushabti has been killed by the Tomb Swarms, who I will attempt to restrain with, and I suspect a 7 is not going to be sufficient for their leadership.
No.
So let's see how far they overrun. They are overrunning 10 inches. We'll come back to you with that. Okay, and so the Tomb Swarms have ended up on the far side of the obelisk there. This brings us to the only combat that really matters. Do you want to just throw all your Tomb King dice? Tomb Guard dice, rather?
Yes. So the My Will Be Done still carries over, so we're looking for 5s to hit.
5s to hit.
Rerolling 1s.
I don't like that many re-rolling 1s. Okay, that's nice.
5s to wound. 2 wounds at AP -1.
2 wounds at AP -1. I think we can do something about this. We need to say 5s to save. Okay, and we need to see 5s to regenerate. We need to make at least one of these. Neither have been made. That is the general dead, which means good game. Right, we'll come back to you with some totaled scores and an after-game show. Well, James, well played. Good game. I think we did really well there. I've surrendered 838 points to you. Now, I've got a sinking feeling that means that it's going to be at best a draw and probably a win for me, right? I mean, I've killed a unit of Tomb Guard chariots and I got the Ushabti.
Yeah, sadly you only scored 365 points for those units.
A point for every day in the year. Gotta love it. Okay. Well, you know what? It was a good game. I'm impressed because I thought I really got panicked at one stage when the skeleton chariots broke through the Tomb Guard chariots and overran into your regular sort of foot Tomb Guard. I feared maybe we were going to end up in a situation where me with the extra few hundred points of troops was just going to smash you, and it would be basically what everybody at home might have called. Did you have any sort of moments of panic in the game?
Yeah, I thought when the Tomb Guard chariots got charged instead of getting the charge off, then got wiped in the second round of combat, and you overran into the Tomb Guard, I thought, oh, that wasn't going to go well, but I think it was more luck than skill from the Tomb Guards that turned the tide.
Yeah. I mean, those Tomb Swarms, though, fighting with the Ushabti, I mean, coming in the rear and, pretty reliably killing an Ushabti in close combat.
Yes.
That was brutal, man. I mean, your dice just weren't with you on the saves there. They weren't with you on the saves everywhere else.
Yeah.
So
poison's still effective, even with the recent nerf it's had. I still do rate poison attacks.
I mean, I don't think it's all that much different, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, you can run the stats however you like, really. But you don't... If you're using poison on sort of these kinds of infantry you would expect to be killed by poison, they're still being slaughtered without much issue, really. And it gives us that opportunity to hit things like the Armor Bane rules or Killing Blow if they're present. So I think it's unfair to call it a nerf. It's definitely a nerf when it comes down to a massive block of Goblin Archers with the Spider Banner shooting dragons out the sky. But, I mean, I don't read in the lore many tales of a warband of 100 goblins hunting dragons on the shores of Ulthuan, you know? So I'm not too concerned about the poison nerf. I think it's the right sort of way to go. I was not expecting my casters to be quite as impotent as they were that game. You know, really quickly you were in combat and there was this No Curse of Years happening. I didn't cast Stormcall the entire game. I don't think a single, not a single successful cast of Wind Blast either.
No.
So, fortunately, they've really kept that unit of Skeleton Warriors going strong. I mean, the Spearmen are still 20 strong as they were at the beginning. So, all in all, really happy with this game. So, for the people at home, this has been the battle plan for Settra Awakens. It will be released online via our Discord when we get that set up in a few weeks' time. You'll be able to go on there, access a Google Drive and download this individual battle plan. Once we continue through this campaign, which is planned to be a 7-part campaign, the whole document will be put together for your enjoyment at home. James's feet are going to sleep as a Labrador has decided to collapse onto them. Good boy. There we are. So once that's up, you'll be able to enjoy it. You'll be able to enjoy this battle plan straight away. Next week, we'll be getting back together to film Settra Conquers, which is the second mission in that campaign. Should we give them a taster or a teaser of what it's going to be?
If you're an Orcs and Goblins fan, watch out for that.
Orcs and Goblins fans, look out, because, I mean, it's let's be honest, the whole campaign is named The Reign of a Million Years. It's clearly meant to be for Settra, so Orcs and Goblins fans, maybe they don't want to see that. Maybe they don't want to see the green paste on the borders of the Badlands. But maybe the Orcs and Goblins will win out. I've got the Arachnarok Spider painted. I've got the Bone Grinder. You know, my wife's just finished the Stone Trolls. So there's some good stuff coming,
yeah,
at least. we got two other little things to say thank you for. I mean, thank you for James for coming down today with his Tomb Kings. You know, your collection has made up probably both armies more or less today. We have had some Tomb Kings loaned to us by a local game store, Dragon Cavern in Langold near Worksop. So if you are in the North Knot, South Yorkshire, Derbyshire area, head on over to Langold and Dragon Cavern and buy some Warhammer up there. They've got good discounts, they've got a good range, and anything that's not on the shelves, Peter there is more than happy to help you order it in and get it ready for you. It's the same deal for Pokemon cards, though I don't think they ever come into stock. No. And I don't understand the collecting of cardboard crack, but if you are a cardboard crack addict, please get help and or don't and buy Pokemon cards. I mean, that's basically all there is to it today, isn't there?
Yeah.
So next week there'll be another release. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Keep an eye out for when the Discord goes up, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you all in the future for more battles in the reign of 1,000,000 years.